indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's move to the roll call, please.
Mr. Alt?
Here.
Mr. Beistel?
Here.
Mr. Vance?
Here.
Dr. Fike? Mrs. Kaufman? Mrs. Love?
Here.
Mr. Polakowski?
Here.
Mrs. Rhodes? Here. Mr. Miller?
Here. And there are 7 present and 2 absent.
Let the record show that Mrs. Kaufman contacted me earlier this week to indicate she had to be out of town this evening and would not be able to attend.
Okay. Thank you very much. And we will move to citizen comments.
Lois Everly?
Please. Ms. Eberly, come to the microphone here, please. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Good evening.
Good evening.
At a recent board meeting, Dr. Fike presented information obtained on a website, pencan.org, which lists our high school's academic performance at an unacceptable rating of D+. She was immediately accused of raining on a parade and trolling the internet to search for negative information. The message was clear, but the messenger was publicly vilified. Please allow me to set the record straight. When I decided to run for an open school director seat on the board, Dr. Fike was the only director who took an interest in getting to know me as a candidate when I met her at a candidate forum. Naturally, I shared my concerns about the high school's rating after I saw the website information published in the Tribune Review, because I believe taxpayers deserve and expect a quality program for their investment. As a candidate, I researched the information on the school district to familiarize myself with updated, relevant statistics and ask questions when some of that information is reported by the State Department of Education happened to be negative. As a responsible director might do, Dr. Fike followed up on this information and shared it at the board meeting. And as we all know, to solve a problem, we first have to recognize that a problem exists. In my humble opinion, Dr. Fike deserves an apology from the board for unfounded accusations made while representing me as a concerned constituent. While it's not my intent to rain on anybody's parade, the facts remain. I continue to seek answers to the questions I posed. What improvement strategy is currently in place to address the academic performance issue at the high school level? And who's responsible for monitoring the plan? What's the time frame for improvement? What progress is being made? And will this information be made public? Thank you for allowing me to share. Congratulations to the new board. I'm confident you'll all work together to face the challenges that lay ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll respond in due time. Let us move. Is there another?
Christy Smith is here from the Southmoreland PTA.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Christy Smith from the Southmoreland PTA. I'm the president of the PTA for the primary center and the elementary school. And I was actually coming to congratulate both the board and the staff and the administration and Principal Lee on the elementary school being named a National Blue Ribbon School. As parents, we are extremely proud of the efforts that are put forth at our school. We're proud to say that our children go to Southmoreland Elementary School. And last Wednesday, the PTA sponsored a Blue Out Day in honor of this achievement. We asked all the children to wear blue in honor of the National Blue Ribbon, and we also handed out blue ribbon bracelets to all of the children. So we have our kids here. I would like to present them to you guys, if that would be okay.
We would welcome being tagged.
Thank Okay, kids, you can pass them out.
So Mr. Lee had some comments.
And good evening, everyone. While the young ladies are passing out the blue bracelets to you, we would also like to share with you that this past Monday, Congressman Tim Murphy came to our school to present our school with a certificate from the United States House of Representatives, and it says, Congress of the United States House of Representatives, this certificate of special congressional recognition presented to Southmoreland Elementary School for being designated as a 2013 National Blue Ribbon School by the United States Department of Education. It's signed by Congressman Tim Murphy. He came and presented it. He was actually supposed to come last Friday, but unfortunately we had a power failure in the whole district, so we had to reschedule it, and actually worked out better because that way we were able to have all the kids come to the gym in the morning, and so all the kids got to see the presentation. And then also during the week, we received a certificate from United States Senator Pat Toomey. It says, United States Senate, this certificate of special recognition is presented to Southmoreland Elementary School 2013 National Blue Ribbon School, and it's dated September 24, 2013, which was the day that they announced the Blue Ribbon School. So we're very proud of those. We were proud that Congressman Murphy came, and actually when he was finished, he had some time on his schedule, so we took him on a tour of the building, and he was quite pleased by our school. He was pleased by our students, the behaviors. He said he goes to a lot of schools and he sees a lot of different types of schools, where some schools are in total chaos and other schools are very well organized, and he was very pleased with what he saw. And I think Dr. Molnar put some pictures in your board packet from our ceremony with Congressman Murphy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pass these two certificates around, and then I'll start them over this way, and they'll work their way back to me at the table over there. Thank you, folks.
Great. Thank you.
And on
Go ahead.
December the 8th, Dr. Scott and Mr. Lee will represent our faculty, students, and community in Hershey, Pennsylvania at the Keystone Honors Awards Banquet, which is part of the Standards Aligned Systems Conference that Dr. Scott will be attending. I was invited to join Mr. Lee at that event. I'm not able to attend, but Dr. Scott graciously agreed to attend in my stead. So that's one more thing that's coming our way because of the hard work that's been done by so many people over there at the elementary school.
All right. Thank you for that report and update on the Blue Ribbon School, and Ms. Smith, thank you for your leadership in the PTA there. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We will move, are there any other citizens' comments?
No other citizens'
Okay.
comments.
We will move to minutes, please.
Yeah, you'll be asked to approve at the next meeting the minutes from the October 3rd and October 10th, 2013 meetings.
Okay. And those are in our package here.
Those are in your packet for your review, yes.
Did anybody have any comments or anything you wanted to note regarding the minutes? Okay. Then let's move to finance, treasurer's reports.
You'll
bills
also
paid.
be asked to approve the treasurer's reports and the bills payable for October 2013. Those were not available when I sent your packets out, but they will come out in next week's packet when they are available.
Okay. We will look for those. On old business here, I just asked Dr. Molnar if he might have just an oral update on the stadium. People constantly...
Sure.
It's been about a month since we met.
Right,
so
it
maybe
has.
A few words.
We're making a little bit of progress on the stadium. We've been in contact with the insurance company, and I have to take my hat off to DeFurio and Mongel, who are our insurance brokers. They've worked very hard on our behalf with school claims. School claims has agreed not only to replace rather than repair the field, but they've also agreed to cover the design work in terms of architecture and engineering. That was a hurdle that we were trying to get over, and we did get over that hurdle. So we were able to sign a contract with the architect and send it their way. Last Friday, several of us met with the architect. They came out and actually did a site visit on the field. They brought one of their gentleman with them, Ken Holsopple, who has designed 12 to 15 fields that are similar to ours. He took some samples of the damaged turf with him, and is preparing to begin the design work. And they will also write the specifications, not only for the replacement of the field, but for the removal of the old field, which is quite a task in and of itself. I'm working a little bit with Mr. Patonic as well. We're trying to determine at this point in time, since this is an insurance situation, and the insurance company is willing to pay the vendors directly, we need to determine what kinds of regulatory hoops we have to jump through in terms of bidding in the Department of Education and things of that nature, since the money is not actually going to be funneled through the Southmoreland School District. So we're hoping to be able to start removing the old turf very shortly, and get the specifications out and get this project underway and finished as soon as possible.
Okay. Questions or comments? Yes, Mr. Benz.
I don't know how many board members were around before, but I've been going to our coaches' exit and entrance meetings. We had some of the coaches, specifically soccer, say that some of the soccer officials had problems because there wasn't all the hash marks. So we need to make sure that we change that up a little bit so that we have that okay for the soccer officials.
One of the things we've asked Eccles to do is, as they're doing their design work, we've asked them to do preliminary designs, work with Mr. Swink, Mr. Croft, check the principles. Obviously, we'll share those with the board before the final go-ahead goes through. So that's a very good point, Mr. Benz.
Thank you.
What about, somebody asked me, what is there, is anything there that we can use for other purposes, from the surface to, I don't know what, people have asked me whether there's anything salvageable, not that we use it necessarily, but either whether...
We may be able to salvage some of it in terms of, if we want to, line a batting cage with it or something like that. It's to the point in age where we're not going to be wanting to use it for an infield or anything where it's going to be getting a lot of weather and a lot of wear. But I think we will try to maybe salvage bits and pieces of it. It's actually very heavy and cumbersome. I believe the figure we got was 400 pounds per square foot. Tim, was that what we were told, or square yard? Very heavy at any rate, and very cumbersome.
I've had people ask me about an idea of maybe cutting up some and selling it to anybody who wanted to buy it. Possibly to tag on to that, maybe we could even give it to some of the seniors that didn't get to play their senior season, whether it's band members, football players, soccer players, whatever. Maybe even give them a piece or something if they wanted it.
Those are some good thoughts.
Okay. Good. Let's move on to new business, several policies here.
Yeah, we will ask you to adopt the revision of Policy 805, Emergency Preparedness. That policy was posted at the last meeting and was in your last month's binder for your review. So is there any questions or discussions on Policy 805? Many of these are being updated in terms of making them comply with current regulation. The next policy then would be 805.1, relationships with law enforcement agencies. 849 is the policy requiring us to have a memorandum of understanding with local law enforcement. And policy 909 is our relationship with the municipal governments. So we would ask you to adopt each of those that were posted. And if there's discussion on any of those, we would open it up at this time.
Just noted, I think it was in regards to the local governments that we were flagged in regards to our audit the last, a year ago, and really an appreciation to Mr. Polankowski, I think Mr. Beistel, who else sat on and worked that out? Mr. Bentz worked that out, and yourself.
Mr. Swink.
Swink was, okay. So there is a good relationship there with
Yes, there is.
our municipal authorities.
Yes.
Okay.
And, Mr. President, that is all that we have on the public portion of tonight's agenda.
Okay.
I would have some tax litigation to discuss with you in executive session on the 220 Bessemer case.
Okay.
And we have a great deal of personnel matters to discuss also when we get back to executive session.
Any other comments that a board member wishes to bring to the meeting? Hearing none, so we're ready to adjourn. We'll adjourn to executive session. I would entertain a motion to that effect.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Rhodes, second by Mr. Beistel. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the ayes have it, and we will adjourn to executive session. Thank you very much.